stop.
How?
Yeah, Rick,
Richie McRae. Do you want me to write it in here?
No, that's fine. I know it now.
Okay.
For some reason, I want to say Richard, though.
It's not correct.
Not everyone's a Richard.
Nope.
And before we start, we would just like to give a quick Patreon shout out to Richie McKay. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for subscribing to our Patreon and doing whatever it is that we do. I don't know. Thank you. But we enjoy having you watch us. So that helps.
Wonderful.
Yeah. No. We really appreciate it. Because of you, I am pale as a ghost. And George is, not his same color. Yeah. So, yeah, thank you.
That's all thanks to you. But that went off the rails.
Swearing in the first 5 seconds. Jesus.
I know. Just beep us. I'm sorry. I just
swore?
panicked.
He said the S word. He said we are SHIT.
You gotta stop that.
I know. I blanked and that's what came out.
Welcome to the Horror Hour.
We all go a little mad sometimes. Forget you.
You are Here's Johnny.
Hello and welcome to the Horror Hour. It's the show where we discuss, debate, and disagree on all things horror. I'm one of your hosts, Liam. Hello. And today I'm joined by Yutaka.
Hello. I'm wearing my Adore Delano t-shirt because she has come out in favor of Mr. Terrifier, Art the Clown. So I just thought it'd be appropriate. So I wanted to give that a shout out.
Oh, good times. I thought it was because no one adores you. Next up, we have George.
Hi. David attacked me in the night and shaved my head. So this is why I'm here, and he's not. He's currently traveling back to New York on a red eye as we speak with my hair that he's going to sell on the black market, what was left.
He saw George's thirst trap, so he had to go running.
He said, I'm going to destroy you. Not like that. I'm not Nick. Sorry.
Allegedly.
Well, actually, we should discuss the elephant in the room because even though George did make a joke out of it, David isn't here. It is quite unfortunate, but he is currently in the ER department. He had a very unfortunate iglooing accident.
Wait a minute.
So we just need everyone to send prayers and loves and whatever it is that you need to do, and just hope that David gets better. And we all hope that obviously he stops iglooing because it's starting to become a problem.
If you are over 18, you are allowed to Google that. If you're not over 18, please do not Google what that phrase means.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, my
God. So now that the unpleasantries are out the way, like every good episode, we are going to be discussing nightmare. What gave us nightmares? What kept us up? What scared the living out of us? I know I'm not allowed to swear, people, because YouTube don't like swears. So who would like to go first in telling everyone what gave them nightmares? What scene? Tell me a scene.
Yutaka, go. Okay, fine. That's fine.
Yeah, you took too long.
Took too long. I said it, but fine.
Yeah,
Sure,
no, but you were trying to be dramatic about it, and we just weren't here for it, right?
Yeah.
So I am going to go with a film that I feel most of you have seen, I hope, and that's 1982's original Poltergeist.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes, I may have had a bit part, asking if Carol Ann go to the light.
Yeah.
But one of the scenes, again, I was a kid when I saw this, obviously. I think I was maybe 6 or 7 because, again, this movie was PG, I believe, which
this had already came out by the time you were a child.
Yes, but it came out before I was born. Thank you. Anyways,
I am shocked.
Yeah, the rating systems back then were much more, lax. So do you remember the scene when the guy is looking in the mirror and his face melts off?
Yes.
No.
I do.
Have you seen
and I remember
the
you've
original?
said about it in the past.
I have seen the original, but I was a child and I can't remember.
But I mean, the practical effects were really good. I mean, it is very gory, and it's just you weren't really expecting when it happened. And I just, as a kid, I'm like, oh my God. And to couple that then when the third one came out and it was a whole nother mirror situation. Jesus. No.
The third one?
There was. Yeah. And its big thing was mirrors. And that for the longest time is why I hated mirrors. But no, that scene though of that guy just and his face falling off into the sink. All the bits and goo. And
the 80s loved a face melting scene in kids' films, didn't they?
Because what was that when that came out? Because isn't it a PG now in the UK? Or it's
I was
not like a...
Girl, I've been saying it's PG this entire time. Are you not listening? Rude. So but I don't know UK standards.
I think it still is.
Yeah, I don't think they would have changed it. Mm-hmm. I don't think they retroactively. I don't know your guys' rating system. I know ours, which is so very secretive, which is the dumbest thing. There's a documentary, I think, on it. No, seriously, it's 4 people. It's 4 people that make up the ratings. No real rhyme or reason. Yeah. But in the US,
they just have a list, a list of.
Do you
but
remember?
It depends. It's.
Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off, Yutaka. That's why I was going to let you finish.
No, go for it. Go.
But in the UK, when you had a video, and I don't know if this was in America as well, but there used to be this woman who would pop on and she'd be like, when you rent or buy a video, you need to make sure the film you've chosen is suitable for the audience at home. To help you understand what the film is like, you can look at the certificate it has been given. And then it would say what it is. And it was all, I tended to watch PG. Yeah. And it should be this film is classified PG, stands for parental guidance, which means it may contain some sexy scenes or very brief nudity. It may also contain some milder swear word. Video certificates are there to give you the chance to make the right choice. Thanks for listening.
Anyway, so not have that here in the US. Nobody give it. You just it would usually just flash the rating in a trailer, and no, you would never hear that.
That voice was exact.
Thank you.
I was like the woman was. I was like the woman was alive again.
I was that woman. Thank you. But sorry, Jack. I was just talking about PG. Yeah, I always forget that Poltergeist. When you look at what happens in that film, how it was a family film, and you're like, I'm sorry.
It was Steven Spielberg. What can I say? And I mean, it is it still holds up, honestly. The remake is trash. And also Craig T. Nelson has a nice butt. I can see I'm blind. But yes. It was that scene in Poltergeist.
That's very valid.
That's okay. Good way to end it. George, nightmare fuel. Apart from looking in the mirror, what else?
Well, I'm the only one who looks in the mirror and actually enjoys the way I look.
Self-tanner.
It's mousse. But so I'm going to go with, again, a film that I have discussed. I want to get this one out of the way with at length here, and I think I've discussed this.
We appreciate that.
This scene at length as well, and it's Hell House, and it is obviously I know you haven't seen it, Liam, and I'm obviously, I think for most of these we're going to say obviously spoilers, so chapter time, skip to the next one.
True.
If you haven't seen the film, we're obviously going to talk about it. So there's one particular scene in Hell House where, and I think because I've had this sort of dream before, that when I saw it, it just really added to me. So I always used to think when I was a kid, when the lights went out, I was like, there's somebody just standing over me watching me sleep right now. Like there's something in here. So in the said scene, there's a man who wakes up in the night, found footage, talking to the camera, and we can see from his viewfinder that there is a lovely woman just casually in a white gown with her hair down, just sitting against the wall, like Liam probably does after a night out, just absolutely out of it. And he then turns and notices her and is like, oh hell, gets under the cover and then keeps peeking the camera, and she keeps getting closer until she kills him, basically. Well, no, she doesn't kill him, that's a lie. She just transports him. Anyway, but just that image of seeing somebody just like deadpan, just lying on the floor, just like looking at this man while he can't see, for the months after, I was like, she's here, she's right here. And it takes a lot to for films, just everything else in life scares me, but for fictional things, it takes a lot to scare me these days. So that was one of the things where I was like, "Ooh, that was so simple." And watching it back, I remember I did when I did the reactions with my friend Jess. She was kind of like, "Ooh," and like I was like, "This isn't actually scary." But so I think it was just the fact that I watched the film at night in my room. It was dark, and it was just the atmosphere at the time. But that scene really did like have me going for a long time after. And it was lockdown, so I think everyone was just going crazy anyway when I watched it. So your mind was like playing overtime. So I was just constantly like, oh my God, this woman is here. So I would lie in bed and I'd be like, I know you're there.
And you know what? What was that?
I can see you, but I'm not paying you any attention. So just you get on with it and I'll get on with it myself. And I would ask, and then have to be like, Alexa, turn on, I can't say it because she'll do it. Turn on the lights, and then lights would come on, and then there'd be nobody there. So, yeah, Hell House, white gown lady scared me quite recently.
Okay. Wow.
But I think I've discussed that before, right? That scene. I mean, I've definitely with Yutaka.
Yeah.
It's forgotten, but.
Yeah, not with me.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. So, yeah, that would be mine.
That's not the scene I was expecting. Wow. Leah's like, all right, next.
Anyway.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay, it's going to be one of those days.
So for me, I'll do what you did, George. I'll get my obvious one out of the way. The other two I have never discussed before. So mine is the ending scene in Martyrs.
The original, of course.
The original, yeah, not the. I haven't even watched the remake. I knew flat out it wasn't going to be as good as the original. So, yeah, it's just disgusting. And it just like afterwards, I was like, just constantly felt uneasy about it. It was just done so well. So it looked so realistic, seeing just a skinless body being alive.
So tell the audience, like, when you first saw that, your reaction.
I vomited. Yeah, I vomited.
That's
love
that.
I was actually sick.
Wow. Now, had you been drinking or were you sober?
I was sober.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
Sick. That's crazy.
Shocked on both accounts.
Yeah. I don't know why it made me sick, because I've never been sick at looking at something.
Was it just because the movie is just very also like raw, emotional, and that was like a very charged ending? Like that was, I mean, it's a good ending, but it is.
I don't think me as a person is like smart enough to have thought that much into it that my body vomited.
Subconscious, by the subconscious mind.
Oh, maybe my subconscious is a genius. But clearly I'm not, so it might be. But who knows? Oh, yeah. So yes, I was sick. I then rewatched the film because I missed quite a big chunk of it. Because, vomiting in the toilet. And it's still just, wasn't sick the second time because I knew it was coming. But yeah, it just, the whole end, it's just disgusting. Like being broken like that to the point where like something so painful can happen to you, but you're alive because you've just been made to feel so numb mentally is just awful.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, I'm thinking back to it. Yutaka, go next one.
So this next one, it's not really. So we're sticking in the 80s, and actually, yeah,
it was
and
his heyday. It was when he felt young and pretty.
It is. But this one isn't actually horror, even though, again, Spielberg still managed to do something and get away with it. So unlike, Fabelmans, this was good. Ooh! And that's 1984's Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom. Have you all seen that?
Cool. Which one's that one?
Temple of Doom with Ki Kwan as well. Short round. Okay, you haven't seen it. That's fine.
I've seen bits of that one. I've seen them in the thing with the things.
Yeah. So you haven't seen it. No worries.
I don't like the Indiana Jones films.
To each their own. But this one, it had where it was the ritual scene, and literally the man like reaches in.
I've seen that on the
pulls
telly.
Out the heart. I just remember seeing that as a kid too. And again, I was going into Indiana Jones Temple of Doom thinking, oh, it's gonna be, still action-packed fun. You don't think as a 6-year-old, you're gonna see this man have his heart ripped out of his chest. Don't get me wrong, they did it in Dumb and Dumber, and that was pretty funny. But this is not that. This was actually meant to freak you out in that scene. And I also did enjoy like the coloring too. It was very dark and like all the reds and the orange, and obviously, the fire in the background. And yeah, I love Indiana Jones Temple of Doom. It's actually my favorite one out of all of them.
How many are there at the moment?
Which one's the one with the chest?
Huh?
Which one's the one with the chest?
Don't they all have to do with like treasure though?
Yeah.
They'll open it up and then say, "Ooh."
That's the Mummy.
Wow. Anyways.
Like, isn't there one where his face melts off because he opens something?
Well, his face melts off because they're going for the Holy Grail, and he drinks out of a fake. You have to, if you, in that one, spoilers, if you drink out of the wrong Holy Grail cup, that's what happens.
Oh, okay. I can't remember them. I watched them.
But it's okay because he was a Nazi, so he deserved to have his face melted off.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good. I like the show at Hollywood Studios. That's always fun.
It's good ride.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just, again, I know it's not horror, but it's certainly, again, when you think about that scene and that movie.
We didn't say horror.
I know. It's very jarring. And I loved it, but I was terrified for the longest time.
I like
Maybe
it.
I'll have to watch it.
Yeah, but as we said, we didn't say horror. We just said nightmare fuel, a scene from a movie that scared you. So for you, it was an action film. For George, it could be a rom-com about a healthy relationship. We all have different things that scare us.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's deep, Liam. Yeah. Very deep. George, what's yours?
Like George.
So my next one is a film that we have discussed, but I don't think we've ever really talked about this. We discussed about it in passing, but never really, I don't think, in length. And that is REC, R-E-C, record, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, the original. You've talked about this several times. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I love this film. It's one of my favorite found footage films.
We know!
And but the scene that
is it better than quarantine though?
It's 1,000 times better than quarantine. Get out! Get out! I will hold my tan-ridden hands up and say that I did see Quarantine first, and I was like, oh, it's that girl from White Chicks that's in it. I haven't seen her, and Emily Rose. Okay, yeah, but I had seen Emily Rose at that point, and then. My friend was like, no, you need to watch the original Spanish version. So I watched that and I was like, it is so much more horrifying than Quarantine. Quarantine's fine, but it's not anywhere near the first one. But the scene, that I'm referring to is towards the end of the film. So again, Skippy hasn't seen the film. I mean, it's not really a spoiler, but it's kind of a big bit. And so our, do we call it protagonists, right? Our protagonists are like, we need to get out of here. So they're trying to get up to the penthouse to try and get out.
Big words.
Thank you.
Prestidigitation. Prestidigitation.
Through the attic, and so they've got this big bunch of keys and they're trying to get through the door, and they're like, no, we don't know which one it is. I don't know which one it is. The next minute they hear these infected people, zombies, whatever you want to call them, scream and go like, ugh! And then they look down and you just see all their heads pop like around because obviously it's a staircase all the way down. You just see them look up screaming and they all start running up. Well, my heart has never like gone faster, and I've been in so many precarious situations than that moment.
Okay.
So my heart was beaten, and then right at the end, when they literally, we've got it, and they are literally like this close from being like attacked, and you just see this whole zombie go, and then they slam the door in their face. I had to pause and like go and get some air because it was just so intense. I was like, I just thought I would have to throw myself off of the top of that balcony because I would just be. It was just terrifying. So if you haven't seen it, watch it. It's a great film, but that scene.
What they're next to again? So like a Sasha Colby. Okay, all right.
Yeah, is that someone from Drag Race?
He stopped watching Drag Race, Yutaka.
Yeah, I know.
There's too
She's
much
still a legend.
It's been biting into my Real Gaze of WeHo, so I haven't been watching it. I haven't seen it. God. Don't come for me. Don't cancel me, guys. Okay, pay your dances.
Cancel you over that that shirt.
Rude.
But yeah, that was a good discussion.
Cricket.
What are you on about? That shirt's nice.
Thanks. I've never had the heart to wear it before now without something underneath, and I thought, do you know what? I'm going to try something, but I'll probably get attacked. But hey,
no, you are fine. That is fashion for this season.
Thank you. I mean, normally I'm wearing the same two t-shirts with Sidney Prescott's face on, so I mean, at least I've made a little bit of an effort today for once.
Exactly.
All right, I'll give you that. Okay. It just I thought it was a crop top, so that's why I was like,
oh no, it's
no.
Oh, okay.
It's just
all right.
It's just a ribbed sleeveless jumper
for your pleasure. But yeah, so I'm going to go with Wreck, and
I don't think it is.
Okay. And that's with the zombies. Thank you.
And the necks. The zombies with the Sasha Colby necks. Okay, cool. Cool. Thanks for that. So next I'm going to go with a scene from Darkness Falls.
Oh wow, there we go. Was that 2003?
Yes.
You don't know. Go ahead. I'm gonna keep.
Yes, it was. Yes.
Damn, good on me.
It was a film starring Emma Caulfield from that there Buffy. And it was about a vengeful spirit who had taken on the guise of the Tooth Fairy. Yeah. I was terrified by that Tooth Fairy. Like still to this day, because of this scene, I have to have like a light on in the house still. Like if I'm going from downstairs to upstairs, I have to put a light on somewhere that I can turn off once I close my bedroom door. Because you can't get in my bedroom. But you can follow us around the house. if I haven't got a light on. I don't know. It's weird. It's fine.
Okay.
But the scene that terrified me in this one was the scene where she's chasing him and he's running around the house, and then he gets in the bathroom, turns the bathroom light on, and just turns around, and she's just like hanging there in the darkness, and you can just see her win. And oh yeah.
What's this film called?
Darkness Falls.
Turn this on. Turn it on!
Wow, George, thanks for listening.
No, like, I just wanted to make sure. I was thinking of, like, Army of Darkness, so I was getting all confused. 9% on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, pop off.
Yeah, I don't think people really like this film, but I enjoyed it.
You know, I'm trying to think when it came out. I don't know if it was like a Super Bowl weekend, which typically, like, when films come out that weekend, they don't open very large. I think it still did decent, and I think it, you know, people were excited.
47.5 million. It came out January 2003, end of January.
So yeah, a close Super Bowl weekend. But yeah, it was a hit for, you know, what it cost, I believe.
11 million.
I saw it in theaters.
Well, there we go.
I liked it.
I was too young.
So how old were you when you watched that then? Like,
I watched it when it came out on video because we rented it. So that would have been like a couple of months later. So like still 2003. So like 13.
Couple of months later, did you? Well, I don't know, because I know
you
guys
were 13 in 2003.
You guys get movies like super late.
It's crazy.
It would have been some point in 2003.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I was either 13 or just turned 14.
It was 7. Oh my god.
Yeah, you were younger than us, but you look about 40 years older than us. So don't be coming up all in my business when you're sitting there with your buzz cut and because you're balding.
It's true. I've had to embrace the bald.
We appreciate you for braving the baldness. You look wonderful for it, darling. And weirdly, you don't look like an egg, so there's a plus.
Thanks, I guess.
You're welcome. I was maybe being nice for once. Oh,
okay.
Are you looking like that, Yutaka?
Because I'm trying to count in my head how many times you said
Girl, I gave up.
That is...
Stop!
Look, some of us just don't have the vocabulary skills to say something more than M.
You just have to just slow your speech and don't race into things because it's just a filler. So instead of going, and it's about this, you go, and it's about this woman.
Get her, Jade.
No,
she is.
No, I'm sorry. Not George saying don't race into something. And, you know, homeboy thought he was going to get married last week. So.
Well, anyway, speaking of filler, Yutaka, what's your next choice?
Oh, I deserve that. I have a film that both Liam and I absolutely adored. See, now you got me doing it. So I think this was technically 2022 film. Yeah. Watcher. And I still cannot get the dialogue and that scene on the subway or the train with Bern Gorman and Michael Monroe, the tension and just the entire monologue. It is just freaky, unsettling. It got under my skin. The movie itself did, but I just always remember anytime somebody mentions The Watcher, I immediately think about that scene and just the dread, because of course then you have that that plastic bag right there. And it is it or isn't it a severed head? Just that whole scene was so perfect, and it was so uncomfortable, and I loved it. It definitely freaked me out. It still sits with me. And again, anytime somebody mentions Watcher, I'm like back in that zone again. I'm like, even though that film is so gorgeous too, but if you have not seen Watcher, yes, I may have spoiled something, but you already knew. If you see the trailer, they don't shy away from that. It's so good, but it's really just about seeing the performance between those two. And again, Bern Gorman, he's so good in that.
He truly played a terrifying character. Yes. I would say, even though it didn't give us nightmares, the scene in the cinema.
Oh, that was also unsettling.
Uncomfortable. It just backed up every single thing I have about not going to the cinema by myself.
No, okay. What that tells me,
if I go to the cinema by myself, I'm going to have a man follow us. He's going to watch us, and then someone's going to die. So
no.
I'm not doing it. I'm saving lives.
No, you just if you go in by yourself and it's just you sit in the very back row so nobody can sit behind you. Truthfully, that's what I actually honestly do. If I go to a cinema by myself, and it is like
also makes it easy.
What was that?
Oh, Jesus, that was a jump.
Yeah, what happened?
Liam, you went, also makes it easier, and then it must have cut. It's
yeah,
like you're back in the room.
Like you were the Flash. But no, I will, if I go to see a theater or go into a movie by myself and it's not packed, I will definitely try and get, all the way back. So my back is to the actual wall. If it's a packed theater, that's completely different, then it doesn't bother me. But yeah, just because that scene reinforces, and if that scene doesn't, it's an 80s film called He Knows When You're Alone. And there have been a couple films that have kind of taken inspiration from it. And that is where, in this case, Liam would be correct. But worst part is, they're not alone. This girl goes into a theater with her friend. They're watching a horror film, and a guy sits down behind them, and he waits for the right moment to when everybody's screaming. So you could essentially say maybe even Scream 2 got a little bit of inspiration. But as everybody jumps and screams, he shoves the knife into the back of the seat and kills her, and then just gets up and walks away. And the friend is like, oh, it's not that scary. It's okay. And doesn't realize that she's been murdered. I think I may have just given Liam some nightmare fuel. But yes, I agree that scene in Watcher is just fantastic. And that's what it also reminds me of, is that scene in He Knows When You're Alone. But hey,
I couldn't sit at the back because the premier seats are in the middle. So,
okay, yeah. Fancy pants.
Yeah. So thank you for providing new nightmares for us just on this day. So next up, someone who never has his back to the wall, George.
Oh, I've always got my back arched though. So the next, this one.
Sadly.
Yeah. This particular film, this last one I have here, is a film that this is the ending. So I'm going to say now, I'm going to explain what the film is. So if you feel like it's something you might be interested in seeing, please turn away, because these two won't have a chance, but these two won't want to watch this film anyway. So
oh gosh. Well, hold on. Wait, can we guess?
Oh, thank God.
Can we guess?
You have no idea what this film is.
Oh.
I think I mentioned it once, but I don't think it was enough for you to remember it.
Ooh, found footage?
Yes.
And I don't care enough.
Yeah. So anyway, so this film, the film is called, in the UK, it's called The Borderlands, but in the US, I believe it's called Final Prayer. The poster, when you see the poster, if you Google it, it's a poster of like a church that looks that's in the shape of a cross.
You
Found
have
footage.
talked about this.
I have
I feel
mentioned
like
it before.
heard of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the film basically surrounds these two guys who go to a local church because there's been some sort of weird, bizarre goings on. So they want to kind of see what's going on. And you know, one of them believes like, oh, what if it's like, you know, the devil or it's the demons. They're like, you can't have demons in the church, blah blah. And the other one's like, it's not true, it's not true. So that's the basis of the film. At the end of the film, there's this big like, well, not chasing because someone's getting chased, but a big scene where they're running around. They end up in like the catacombs underneath this church looking for this other guy, and they're like asking where he is, like, Deacon, where are you, blah blah blah. And then they see him, like it's sort of like an as above so below, like he's like in the shadows, like disappears, yeah, go blah blah blah. And then they're like, okay, like we've got to get through this tiny, it turns into the descent. They're like, we've got to try and get through this tiny hole. No jokes, please. And so what happens is
Yutaka.
they start to go through the hole. And then the guy at front says, oh, it's, you can't have come through here because it's closed off at the end. It's a dead end. So we're gonna have to go back. So they're like, okay, let's move back. Let's move back. The guy at the back then says, the back's gone. There's nothing here. And then it starts to move. And then they are slowly eaten alive inside the belly of the beast that they have just crawled into. While they are screaming, you see the camera still on as their faces are burning off. And one of them is screaming, you said it wasn't real. You said it wasn't real. And it's just horrific. So not only is it like the descent, it's like, oh no, it's tight spaces. And then this film I'd kind of taken out of my memory because of what happened, only to then have it resurface when I watched Nope, because that scene in Nope where they go up into the thing and they're screaming and they are being decomposed and basically digested, it just gave me flashbacks to that film, but it's like in found footage styles. It's horrifying.
That happened in Outwaters too.
I'm going home. I've had enough.
Why?
I'm ventriloquizing myself.
Did you not like my story?
I was just these scenes are awful. Like all of these scenes that you have been mentioning is just my nightmares.
Like,
I've got more.
Oh my god. Well, I had to stop after that because that made me feel sick remembering that scene. But if you want to see it and you know the ending now, just go and skip to the end if you can't be arsed with it. Just watch the last 5 minutes. Just to see that scene if you wish.
Wow.
That's fine. I won't.
Says, hey, the movie's really not that great. You could just watch the end.
I mean, if you don't like found footage, it's not like the most amazing hot found footage. It doesn't change the genre, but the ending was just very much, I was like, I didn't expect this at all. They crawled inside a giant worm. So yeah, that's the film, and it has a really creepy song during the credits, which always helps because you just sat there in complete disarray of what's happened, and it's just some woman going, "As I was walking down by the real arsenal." So yeah, the Borderlands / Final Prayer. Thank you for your time.
It's nice to know that you finally got a scene in a movie, though. At least your singing could be appreciated.
Thank you. I was actually uncredited for that scene, so I was quite disheartened. Yeah.
After all your work, oh well. I hate this. Like all tight spaces and being alone in a cinema. So for mine, I am going with the flying nanny scene in Ghostbusters 2.
Just thinking of Mary Poppins. I was like, sorry.
I know. Mary Poppins terrified me. Like when I was like a really, really, really small child, and watched obviously Ghostbusters 2, that flying nanny scene terrified the living shit out of me. And yeah. I just had a fear of nannies for quite a long time after that. made us creeped out as a child. Just could never trust a childcare professional. Obviously, and then Super Nanny came along, and I was like, okay, I trust nannies again.
George, did you have a nanny?
Yeah.
It's a tough subject. I had to let her go. She wanted her daughter to walk through the house. And poor Rachel just wanted to go and see her mommy.
What?
Is this from a film?
And then she had to fire her, and then she moved home. Died before he could go back and see her.
Is this like a film synopsis? That
it's from The Help.
Oh, okay. I've not seen that film.
Oh my god! Oh, jeez.
I was saying that you were Emma Stone and your mum was Alison Janney.
Oh. Alison Janney's the one from Gone Girl, right? Who says, the detective?
No.
Who's that?
That's
Alison
Kim Dickens in that.
Kim Dickens?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's who's...
What the Dickens?
Alison who, sorry?
Janney.
She was...
No, it is Alison Janney. Did you kill Megan Hipwell? Yeah, it is her. Thank you, I know I'm right.
She's not a detective in Gone Girl.
Not Gone Girl, sorry. Girl on the Train.
Okay, 2 different movies, sir. Get it together.
They have girls in the title. One of them's got Luke Evans.
Oh, well.
Well, of course you would know. You should know since Luke Evans was in it.
Yeah, one of the first films I saw him in, and I was like,
biggest
sorry?
fan. So yes, back to the flying nanny. Like I was always, because I'm also scared of heights. So I was already on edge at the fact that the baby was walking on the ledge. Then add in that there was a demon fucking nanny flying around with a invisible crib.
But he was so funny looking.
Pram.
Who? It's a woman, isn't it? The nanny?
It was a woman.
This is Ghostbusters 2, correct? With the baby?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And that was the assistant.
Oh, it turns out the nanny's... Yeah,
Peter
it turns out the
McNichol?
nanny isn't a nanny. Yeah, it's the... Yeah. I was blanking that part of the scene out of my head.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I was also terrified of the painting.
Oh, God, yeah, I will give you credit. That painting was just so uncomfortable.
Yeah. Just you were watching it like, oh. And like it made your butthole go like... George wouldn't know about that. Neither would David, if that helps. He's not here to defend himself, but still. Well, I don't...
Well, you all have my bloody name in your mouth every friggin' week when I'm not here, so don't be saying like that's it.
Yeah, but you like
I'm very sorry.
It's different. Yeah. See? As you already... Yeah.
Stop it.
God, stop luxuriating in that. It's gross.
I am disgusted.
So nannies are bad. That's what
nannies are bad. And so are assistants, and so are flying prams. Yeah. Does anyone have any more? Because I know we said we wrote down 3. Does. I was going to say, do you have a list of like 40 that you want to just quickly run through?
I do, kind of. I'm not 40. Okay. Again, this was not.
This is just quick ones, though.
I know. I got it. I got to find. Okay. Cannibal scenes. Have you guys seen Green Inferno?
Mm-hmm.
No. It never came out here for ages, and the only way you could,
no shit.
I just never got. Yeah, it just like wasn't available at all, and then like it kind of got a little bit out online, but you can only watch it in like a certain place, and then it was just available. But like,
oh wow,
yeah, it was impossible to get. It was impossible to get for like years, so I just gave up on trying to watch it.
Remember that part when we said quick fire, Liam?
There. No, there was just a scene where it's got what's his name? Megan Train, not Megan Train.
Yeah, her husband.
Yeah,
her
Megan's husband. Yeah.
he shows his dingling.
Junie. Little Junie.
He shows his penis. Just wanted to announce that. Anyway, no, but seriously, he's getting ready to pee, and he doesn't even realize. Really? He looks down, and then there's like this huge tarantula coming at his dick. That gave me nightmares. I was like, absolutely not. See,
singing all about that bass.
Yeah.
All about that bass.
I mean, honestly, it almost makes me think of a movie that I will say did give me nightmares because I am arachnophobic, and that is Arachnophobia. That whole movie was a nightmare situation to me. I still, anytime I see the poster, it freaks me out. Anytime I think of the movie where like the lady's just in the bath and it just, or like it's just covering everywhere in the house, coming down from the lamps and the shoe. And then when he goes in the barn and it's just everywhere. Oh my God. And then it makes me think of, let me just take one little divergent and then I'll wrap up. I'm so sorry. We have like we have a ton of reality shows here, obviously, just like you all do. But I forgot the name of this one, but this guy is infamous for taking care of pest problems that are just, not your normal, oh my God, there's like, I think in one of them, somebody found an actual boa constrictor in their garage. And he came to, like, this thing was massive. Well, he happened to come to a house that was...
Plug for George there.
Yeah, filled, and I mean filled with brown recluses. Everywhere.
What's that?
That's it's the most deadly.
Oh, okay.
It's one of the deadliest spiders out there. A bite, essentially, if it bites you, the skin, it becomes necrotic and it just starts eating away. And you can actually die from a brown recluse bite. And they do say typically, at least in America, I don't know what it is, over like around the world, every house has at least two, but they're so the name is, I know. I don't know if that's the same in the UK. They just say, but hold on.
Widows, don't we?
Black widows are bad too, but brown recluses, I mean, you don't,
like
the whole
black
name
widow,
is,
baby.
They stay up like in your attic. You don't normally see them. They truly do not come out.
They're a recluse.
Yeah. And if you have spray, if you have like spray like to kill spiders, it doesn't technically work because the way those sprays work is like a spider will run on or like walk onto it, and most spiders like clean their feet, like by ingesting. Brown recluses don't do that. You physically have to smash those little beasts or set them on fire. I would honestly, they say if you have an infestation, burn the house.
Burn your house.
Truthfully, it's not worth it. It can't be saved.
Damn.
But and also anytime I hear that song Black Widow Baby, it makes me think they're saying like a big little baby.
Oh.
What?
We don't have them.
Safe. Then we don't have them.
Okay.
I mean, we have probably something similar though that we just don't know about. Maybe Google UK version.
We have no venomous spiders. We only have one venomous spider, but it's too small to actually be venomous.
But what happened to those ones coming over on bananas? Do you remember? They always used to say that.
Yeah, but that's just like a one-off thing that can happen.
What came over on bananas? And as always, we deviate because we're talking spiders. Which, by the way, there are so many fun. There's
eight-legged freaks.
I won't watch it because I hate spiders.
Oh, I love them.
There's Lavalantula.
Well, we might just have a spider episode in the future.
Comes under monsters, I suppose.
It does.
Creature features.
You want to see me like sweat, like in a reaction or anything?
If I have to watch Showgirls, then you have to watch something.
Oh, hold up. Showgirls is iconic.
You're going to have a good time at Showgirls.
Yeah,
I think I saw a scene from Showgirls on TikTok with some woman in a pool, and she was extremely agitated. Let's just say that.
Yeah, agitated. That's the word. So was that your final
Yeah, we'll go with that because that was a fun discussion. Because it also gave you a little heartburn, didn't it? Because you were worried.
I hated every second of that.
Are you ready for the new arachnophobia as well? Have you seen...
Do we actually know if this is happening? Because I have seen nothing from it.
Yeah, well, because it's in...
Child.
Are you... I was just... Can I not stretch? Jesus, woman.
No, I will call... Sorry.
I'll just wait for my answer.
Yeah, no. It is actually it's in development, and they already some people have put out posters, and one of the freakiest ones was an X-ray, and inside the X-ray of somebody you just saw all little spiders everywhere.
But they're not real. They're not real posters, though, are they?
just look at the date.
Yeah.
Now the 4th.
I was like, oh, it's February.
But anyways,
yeah. I mean, I'm excited to see it, but future episode idea, maybe. Who knows? We'll write it down somewhere. And then, obviously, speaking of that, if you want to, you can become a Patreon, where you can vote on what topic we actually discuss. So, if you do want to hear Yutaka having to talk about these things that make him uncomfortable, go join Patreon and vote for him to have to do these things. But yes, so thank you for joining us today. Thank you guys for spreading the word of what gives you fear. If you would like to join us again or watch more of our content, there is lots linked down below. You can also subscribe to us, hit the notification bell for any future videos. And also, if you would like, speak to us on social media. We are at the Horror Hour TV. We are on Twitter and Instagram. And as I said, Patreon, we are available. So thank you for watching today. Goodbye.
Bye.
You have been listening to the Horror Hour. See you next time.
Bitch